Wild Card weekend ready to kick off in the NFL. It will finish up Monday night with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers facing C.J. Stroud and the Texans, though maybe we should put that entire defense on the screen because that's the real star. The Texans defense, the best in the league statistically. Archuleta and Charles Davis have seen both of these teams this season on CBS. If the Steelers do not win this one, their drought in the playoffs is going to reach a decade. It would be 7 consecutive losses. With that hanging over Mike Tomlin and maybe even his future with the team, Adam, how much pressure is he facing on Monday night?
Well, listen, I know that, we've gotten to know Mike Tomlin pretty well over the years and had a lot of conversations. He's not a guy that really feels pressure. At least he's not going to say it outward. And I know, listen, he's been there for so long. He's got 193 wins. He's up there with Noel. Well, let's be honest. I don't think that he's going to the Marty's Trophy shop and putting the plaque on the wall for getting to 500 all those years in a row. I think he understands that this business is all about postseason. It's all about Super Bowls. And that is a long time. You just said he's coming up on a decade possibly of winning a playoff game to one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. So he may not say there's a lot of pressure, Charles, but I can guarantee you that he is looking to win this game. He needs to win this football game, and it's going to be a tough matchup.
Charles, the one thing he does have going for him this season is it's not Mason Rudolph starting at quarterback for him. It's not an aging Russell Wilson. It is Aaron Rodgers, who has been itching to get back into the postseason. First time in 5 years we will see him in the playoffs. What do you think the 42-year-old has left in that arm for this game?
Well, he's got plenty left in the arm, and as we saw against Baltimore on Sunday night, Arch, when we're back there playing safety and you're looking, and all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is hot-footing it out of the pocket and still picking up first downs, running it. That was a little bit of a surprise. I hadn't seen much of that this past season. But when everything's on the line, everything's on the table as well, right? So all of that is there. The arm is still there. They could not get DK Metcalf back at a better time. And for everything they did to get him, it has to show up on Monday night against Houston. He has to provide some plays downfield for them because overall as a receiving unit, you're seeing Aaron Rodgers get a ball out of his hands as fast as possible, get it to someone, and hope they can make some people miss and pick up some yardage. They need some bigger, more explosive plays downfield. That's why they got Metcalf. He has to show up for them on Monday night because Rodgers still has plenty of arm to get it to him.
Yeah, and listen, I don't know about you, but I just, I want to take my analyst hat off and just put my fan hat off. I have had a lot of joy in seeing the behind-the-scenes look of Aaron Rodgers playing sandlot football in real time in the huddle, directing traffic. You go back to that game against Detroit with Kenneth Gainwell where he says, hey, just go out there and run a go. While the play is happening, and he hits him for a big play down the field. And then this last one, he's negotiating in the huddle with Calvin Austin on what kind of route to run on the backside in the biggest moment of the game. And he says, oh, you know what? I just caught the corner of Wouzier slipping out of the corner of my eye, and that was a big touchdown to put him ahead. So, I'm with you, Charles. The arm talent is there. He is slinging it around. His mind is as sharp as possible. He is playing at the highest level right now that he could possibly play. All they have to do is figure out how do we get him a clean pocket. That's going to be the big test against the Texans.
Yeah, which is almost impossible against this great Texans defense. And this team as a whole, the hottest team in the league, quote unquote, because they're going for their 10th consecutive win. Halloween weekend, Charles, that's the last time this team lost. What kind of belief does this team have after their horrid start to the year?
Well, I think you go back to the horrid start, and that tells you about the belief right then and there. I mean, they were 0-3, and they very easily could have listened to everything that we were throwing out there at that time. And when I say we, we're part of the media, right? So we're all saying, hey, how many teams that are 0-3, what are the percentages of making the playoffs, let alone winning a division title, let alone all that was well against them. They hung in there. D'Amico Ryans hung in there, made a little change. He gave up defensive play calling to Matt Burke, but he's still actively involved. Got involved more with the offense with the first-time coordinator, Nick Cali, and, of course, C.J. Stroud. And then how about Davis Mills? getting them 3 wins as a starting quarterback when Stroud was hurt. And of course, that defense was consistent all the way through. And not only can they throttle you in the pocket, as Arch just described, right? Trying to keep them clean, they can take it away from you and turn it into points. The only game I have with Houston this year, right out of the gate against Geno Smith, pick 6 by Derek Stingley Jr., maybe the best corner in the game. So they come at you in waves that way. Give DeMeco Ryans and that whole organization big-time credit for hanging tough. And now they're the team that a lot of people just don't want to see come playoff time.
9 straight wins, 7 of those by 1 possession. It's the #1 defense in the NFL. Adam, when you were playing in the early 2000s, it seemed like it was a different era. I mean, a defense could take a team all the way without much of an offense. 01 Ravens, 03 Bucks, even the Legion of Boom, 15 years ago or so. We haven't seen that in a while, though. I mean, I'm not saying the offense isn't good, but is this defense great enough to carry them all the way to a title?
Well, shoot, I think it's a pleasure. I think it's a treat. We get so enamored with offensive football, and that's for good reason. They're the ones that sell the tickets and all the jersey sales. But I have a lot of fun watching this defense play. And I think you just heard Charles talk about something earlier. It's not only their ability to pressure the quarterback between Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, but the takeaways, giving their offense more chances, more short fields, giving C.J. Stroud and those rookie wide receivers and Marks a chance to gel and come together. And that's really what they've done. That's been their formula this year. And so you've saw a different C.J. Stroud since their bye week. He's more aggressive down the field. You see their young receivers getting more comfortable, Marks breaking more tackles. But it's all about that defense putting so much pressure on the opposing offense and taking that football away and giving their offense more chances. That's the calling card. If you want to be an elite, a generational type defense, what do you have to do? You have to get after the quarterback and you have to create takeaways. And that's what they do better than any defense in the National Football League. And I do believe that they can use that defense and get to where they want to go.
I love what you said, Arch. I absolutely love it because as defensive guys, obviously our appreciation for it may be higher than maybe it should be, but we can't help ourselves, right? When we watch what we're seeing. I'm also a baseball fan, and I love to go to a baseball game that times out about 2 hours and 10 minutes, is well pitched, and is a 2-1 game, and I watch a defense turn 4-6, 4-3 double plays, take away shots down the line, things of that nature. It's the same thing the Houston defense does. It takes away your opportunities, and as Arch articulated, gives more opportunities to their offense. And now that offense doesn't have to be quite as precise because he's right. C.J. Stroud's been better since he's come back. But they still, the explosiveness, the quick strike, it's not quite there the way that they want it to be, although it's building and growing. And Nico Collins can go justifying the Triple Crown at any moment because that guy is something else. But all in all, they work harder on the offensive side. The defense sets them up and gives them great chances downfield.
But they have never won away from home in the postseason. Texans 0-6 all time. But we mentioned the Steelers have lost 6 straight playoff games altogether. Adam, what gives on Monday night?
Well, something's got to give, right? I love this matchup. And when I look at, okay, what do the Steelers have to do to win? 2 games really stand out to me this season for the Steelers in dealing with teams that can really pressure the quarterback. The first one was that Week 17 game against Cleveland. Yes, they did a great job of mitigating pressure, but that's because Aaron Rodgers got rid of the ball in 2.11 seconds. I don't think that's going to be good enough because they don't generate enough big plays. The other game was in that primetime game against the Chargers. They did a great job of taking away his first option, didn't allow him to improvise and spot those matchups downfield, and the offense struggled. So to me, the Steelers, they've got to find a way to hold the ball a little bit longer so they can generate those big plays down the field. And for the Texans, just rely on your formula. Play great defense, suffocating defense, smothering defense, take the football away, and C.J. Stroud has to be clean. If they put those 2 together, they have a chance to win.
And I tell you, Adam, when I watch this and think about it, I'm going to get away from the strategy side because you put it out there so beautifully. I'm just thinking of this. This is a very veteran Steelers team in terms of the leaders of the team and the guys you count on giving you big plays. Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, These are guys who haven't had the experience of winning those playoff games, right? You set it up 6 straight, but the schedule did them a huge favor. They're playing Monday night. They get extra time coming off of that game with Baltimore. They know the stakes, and they find a way throughout the season to gum things up enough that they're in the game in the fourth quarter. And Chris Boswell may have missed an extra point in the last game that could have been costly, but he doesn't miss often in big spots. I feel an upset coming here, that Pittsburgh hangs in there. Houston can get 6-7 sacks in the game, and Aaron Rodgers finds a way to make a play for them late in the ball game, and Pittsburgh gets out of their drought, and Houston goes home frustrated because Houston's the better football team. But I feel like this time, there's something there for Pittsburgh to find a way to get that first playoff win in almost a decade.
And there's something about Monday nights in Pittsburgh as well. You saw the stat, 23 straight home wins on Monday night, dating all the way back to 1991. Adam, Charles, enjoy your first weekend off in a while and watching the football games. We'll be looking forward to it. Amanda, you're not getting the weekend off, though.
No,
Another NFL Today Plus on the way.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Getting ready for Super Wildcard Weekend, which we haven't said this yet in this show, is the best weekend in football.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
This is it.
You could make the argument, some say Championship Sunday, divisional round's great, but you get 6 games.
Yeah.
And a lot of these look like they could go either way.